Wisdom by design.
What is up, guys? We are a podcast for the creative looking to enrich their life with knowledge. We won't be giving you 3 ways to get rich quick. In fact, we are for the college avoider, the corporate dropout, the person burning the midnight oil on their next big project. We're talking to you. We know you can hear us. It's really dark in your living room right now. We are here to talk with you, offer up the processes that work for us and our business, and to be real. This might be your new fave podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Jessa.
I'm Kameron. And we're here with episode 2.
Episode 2 of Wisdom by Design. I guess we should actually say what our name is, right? Maybe.
Probably makes sense.
Maybe, just a little. Just so they know who we're talking
We'll try it on this one, and the next one we won't.
Okay. And they'd be like, I was listening to this podcast, Cam and Jess, and I don't remember the name of the podcast, but
they just talk a lot. Yeah. So today's episode, is about, we're going to talk about branding. And we're going to talk about brands and what is it? It's a brand, it's branding. I think those are the 2 lanes. And they're different. Yeah. And people don't really realize that they are different. So
yes, and this is the thing that brought us together originally in the first place. So we thought it would be super important to talk to you guys about it because this is kind of what we do. This is what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I call myself a self-proclaimed brand strategist. So
look at that.
I'm standing in that. We're gonna get some strategy, man. Like,
man, you're all official. I'm trying. Drink tea a lot.
Here trying because I mean a lot of, and I guess we can start here because a lot of something I've noticed about a lot of people who have small businesses or businesses in general is they kind of think that all you have to do is have a business or have a product and it'll sell. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go get people to come kind of show up. I created a sticker business maybe like 2 years ago just for fun. I was like, I'm going to put these stickers out. People are going to love them. I don't see this many, like these types of stickers out there. And I put them out and they did nothing for a year. So I just kept making stickers and people show up every once in a while to buy stickers. But why is that? Why does that happen for you? Why does that happen for me? We're going to talk about that kind of today. So that's, for real, the biggest misconception is all you have to have is a product.
Oh, yeah. A lot of
solve everybody's problem.
Absolutely. And a lot of people think too, like, oh, I have a business. The only thing I need is a logo, which a logo is a main component for your business. Like, you want people to know who your business is, but that logo isn't going to do the work for you. It's literally going to show up to look cute. But if it's just sitting on your website, sitting on your business card, and that's as far as you've gotten, you don't have a brand strategy. You haven't done like a brand discovery, anything of that.
You don't know who the customer is. Yeah.
Yeah. You are yelling into a void and your products and your services are sitting because you do not have anything advocating for you. And that's exactly what these are going to do.
Yep. And go back to the logo thing is like, I used to be like, main design I was doing is logo design.
Right.
And I realized in working with people is a lot of people they think that if you put, I have a carpet cleaning service. Can we put a vacuum on my logo? And they think that's enough. That's enough to draw people in. But it's actually, it does the opposite because they've seen a million vacuums on carpet cleaning logos.
Yep.
So literally everything else is what makes your brand. Your logo is just it's for identification.
So for somebody who's not, and I'm going to have Cam answer this because like I said, Cam is a whiz. He is a whiz at this. I've been doing graphic design for a couple of years. He just reads books sometimes all the time. I've been doing graphic design for a couple of years, and a lot of the stuff that I've learned and Cam has learned, we've learned on YouTube University. Yes. That's what we like to call it.
We're students.
We're constantly in the state of being a student. But I want to ask you, Cam, as somebody who literally knows nothing about branding, what is branding? What is it?
So, in its essence, a brand is not what you think a brand is. You can think all day what your brand is. But your brand is what the consumer, how they feel, their gut feeling on your product, service, or company is what your brand is.
Absolutely.
And I know that's like very hard. It's not tangible. It doesn't feel like you can touch it, but you can. So that's kind of what I work with businesses on is trying to create the ways to be able to touch those things and build the trust and build, because really what it comes down to is it's trust They want to know that you're committed to them, and they want to feel a part of a tribe. Those are really the main three things that go into like building a strong brand. Because I was talking to my wife about like the brands that she loves and why do you love those brands? It's not because they're Apple or Nike. They've done things to make you feel those three ways.
Yeah, so, they provoke emotion. They provoke a sense of trust. And exactly. So think of Coca-Cola. Think of Coca-Cola. When you think of Coca-Cola, you think of, you know, the logo. You've seen the logo your entire life. You've seen the commercial with the polar bears. The polar bears are so like, you know, that's something that you've grown up seeing. So it's like a family household name. Coca-Cola has made its mark on you and your life and your family members' lives. It's always at parties. It's always at barbecues. It's like, it's always going to be there. So when you think of a brand, think of the entire the identity of your business and how your business interacts with your client base. For
sure. That's it. And that's not easy. That's probably
it's not.
This part of it is honestly the hardest part. There are some things that you can do to take steps, like having a logo. Perfect. That's solid. Now now when people see you, you're the same way every time they see you. Having a color scheme, solid. Having the same type everywhere that you go. Having illustrations that you use over and over in different places.
And why is that important? Why is that important? Why is it important to continue to use the same pieces over and over again with your clients?
It's that trust. It's building that commitment. You're the same every time you show up.
Yes.
And people want it to be that way. They don't want to see you one day and your logo is a frog and then the next day it is a pelican. And they're like, well, I already can't trust this person because they don't show up the same way.
Yes.
And that's why building a brand, like you actually have to do the work when it comes to building a brand. Like I've had Power Design since 2018. And to be honest with you, I'm just now sitting down and reflecting on what I want my brand to be.
Yes.
And me too. Like I said, it's hard.
Yeah, I literally just hired Kam for I have an offshoot of my company. It's Unruly Blooms, and it's a creative collective to help business women brand their business. And Kam is a part of that project. And even I had to go, hey, Kam, like, where do I go? Like, what do I do? And I had sat down and I answered all these questions. You know, who are the people that I'm going to be serving? I want to serve women. Okay, well, what are those women like? What do they do? Well, they're like me. They're stressed as hell. They're running their business. They have no idea where they're going. They have a busy life. They may have kids. They may have a partner. You know, they may have a dog they got to take care of. I don't know. But those are the things that you have to think about when you are building that business, because those are the people that you want to talk to. And those are the people that you want to direct your voice at. So you're not wasting your time and your energy.
For sure. And really the quickest way to building anything is having fans and cheerleaders who love it.
Yes.
So you have to get to them. Like
absolutely. Give them a safe space to be excited for you.
Yes. Like you have to get there. If you don't get there, what do you have? Literally nothing. You have you in a room by yourself making stuff. And that's literally how it goes. So I have some questions for Jessa. Hopefully these questions kind of illuminate a little bit on what these other strong brands, the Apples and the Nikes, are doing to you that you haven't realized.
Yes.
So I'm currently reading this book. It is called Creative Strategy and the Business of Design. I 100% think if you want to understand how to brand, this is where you need to go. It is not easy to kind of get through, but the knowledge and the information that's in there, I'm going to have to read it at least 2 more times after.
Right.
But it's so deep. Like once you kind of understand, I feel like you can build any business you want. You see a void in the market. If you got the capital to do it, you know how to build a business. So the first question that I have for Jessa, I lost the page, is so I want you to identify your favorite brand. Give me your favorite brand that you are, no matter what they do, they'll have your undying support to the end of time.
Oh my goodness. Well, so before, when we were kind of going over these questions, I had automatically thought about Adobe. A lot of us creatives, we work with Adobe 24/7. All the time. They have made themselves a premier creative stop You know, they've got every software everywhere, and I will never go back from their products.
Everybody's trying to get me to stop. They're like,
yeah.
You can go over to, what is the other one? Canva. A lot of people are talking about Canva.
Well, and you know, and to be fair, you know, as a graphic designer, as you being a graphic designer, Canva is great for small businesses. If you don't have that, you know, the ability, that creative edge, but you want the assistance, Canva's fantastic. I have a lot of clients that I'm like, hey, if you want to post anything and you need it to look nice, go to Canva. Make sure you're using your colors and post on there. But as a professional, you're correct. I cannot use Canva for everything.
Exactly.
And I need to use Illustrator. I need to use InDesign. As a photographer, I use Lightroom and Photoshop every single day.
That's your bread and butter.
It is my bread and butter. It is. My computer would be naked without it. Okay. So like I wouldn't be a photographer. So when it comes to Adobe, and I mean, I've been an avid Adobe user for years. Like, you guys, I remember when I had to pay for Photoshop one time and I could have it for the rest of my life.
Man, I
no longer have that CD. So
someone gave it to me. I went to a nerd college because I was an engineer, and someone gave me like unlocked copies of Photoshop and Illustrator.
Right? Do you remember? And I was like you're like, whoa. Like, I remember buying a computer from a friend and it already had Photoshop installed, and I could have like came out of my shoes. I was so excited. Like, I was like, I own professional software. Like,
they closed that up real quick.
They sure did.
I think the next year they closed it up.
You know what? But this Creative Cloud, like, I know, yeah, it sucks having to pay like a monthly subscription. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, the cost of my monthly subscription compared to the work that I actually get to put in, and it includes those updates, hands down worth it.
For me, it's like Apple. Apple has a sandbox. Everything operates within that. So I can't be mad. Adobe's doing the same thing. So a lot of people are trying to go away from it. I'm like, why fight it? Like, at this point, they've done what they need to do. Okay.
It's innovative. Yeah, there's stuff that's going on with it, but I love Adobe. So anyway, next question.
Let's go. Okay, so next question. What is it about the language that is used in the ads, brochure, video packaging, or website that speaks to you, and why?
Okay. It is familiar. It's very familiar. They are literally showing people exactly like us doing what we do in that sense. Anytime, I mean, it's really, even in their software pops up on your computer, and the first thing you see is some creative, crazy, beautiful artwork that another artist has made, and you're like, ooh.
I didn't even think about that. That's so true.
Like, it's
I think that every time.
Yeah, they have some really cool stuff, and you're like, I mean, you literally, I get distracted looking at it, waiting for it to load. I'm like, oh, how did they do that? You know? And so like, even just there, here's art. And then, you know, all of their commercials, like on YouTube, I see a lot of their commercials on YouTube when I'm learning, and it'll pop up, and they're literally showing you like shortcuts and things that would make your editing process easier, and all these different innovative tools that they have. So they know where to find you. First of all, they know I'm on YouTube.
Yes, they do.
They know that see, they have a lot of I didn't either until I was like, wait. But this is why we're talking about this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I see a majority of their advertisements on creative locations like YouTube. I don't really see it as much on Instagram, but I don't think that's because that's the platform for it. So they know exactly where their people are at and how they can get to them, because they know creatives love tutorials. They are going to be all up in that free education. Free. That free education. Yeah, so sure. It's familiar, and they know where to find us, and it's relatable. It's something that I know that I can connect with.
That is really good. Okay, the next question. What words do they use that catch your attention, and what do they mean to you?
Oh gosh, I don't.
This one. I'm kind of surprised by this one too. So I might try to, because I'm an Adobe head too. So
I'm not sure. I've never thought of
their words though. I think they speak through. I think you're right though. They speak through their graphics.
They speak through their art 100%. Because I don't know if I've necessarily even paid attention to the words. I think it's more so of how creative they get with their graphics. Like it's automatically luring to me, and I just want to pay attention to it.
For sure. So I guess that is another way to speak to you. But because Because you're right. Every time I get on there, I'm like, who is this artist? I need to follow them.
You're like,
I need to see more of this work.
Yeah, they always pop up with like Photoshop stuff, and I'm like, wait, how did they do that? I want to see that.
And I've been introduced because I'm on I'm on YouTube all the time, and they even have a channel. Adobe has a channel where they bring on creatives to do what they do.
Certified creatives, yes.
Learned so much, and I follow all. Now I realize those people are ingrained in my life because those are like my favorite designers, and Adobe put them there.
And you found them through Adobe. See, exactly. So look at Adobe doing some work. Adobe, would you like to sponsor this podcast? We'd appreciate it.
We need some sponsorship.
We need some sponsorship.
Adobe, we love you. We
love you.
Every day. If you could spend 20 cents a day, Adobe. On us.
Just 20 cents a day. We'll feed 2 starving artists.
Yes. Kind of starving. I'm just hungry.
I'm very hungry too. It's
okay. So this is the other part of it. Do you know what Maslow's hierarchy of needs is?
Yes, I do.
Do you know it very well?
I know it well enough, I would like to say.
Okay, let's go. This is the last question.
I'm pretty sure. I know what they consist of. I don't know what certain order they go in. Okay. So self-actualization's at the top. Okay. Esteem is under that. Love, belonging is under that. Safety and psychological is under that. Or physiological, sorry. Physiological. So that's like breathing, food, water, sleep. Right. Homeostasis. So I forgot that this book talks about that, but basically a lot of the way that people brand or market to people is using that pyramid of needs. Yes. So the last question is, what underlying Maslow's need are they speaking to you in? Whoa. Okay. That one's different. That one's different, right? Okay. So I would say I got one if you need help. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What are you thinking? So for me, I think it's again self-esteem, because your boy be what is that? Where I have a hard time seeing myself doing the things that I'm doing. What is that called? It is called imposter syndrome. Yes. So I think the reason why I'm sweating recording episode number 2. I think they hit me on the confidence. Like a lot of artists that they bring to the forefront for me that I see are confident. They know what they're doing. They're like, this is my art style. This is what I'm going to be doing forever. And that kind of plays to me to where it's like, I want to be confident. I want to be like them. Yeah. You know I would have never thought about that. Absolutely. Right? Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Well, yeah, because they're also giving us those tools, those professional tools that make us the professionals, you know? Exactly. So that's really cool. So literally they are giving you kind of, when you're using the same tools that other professional people are using and being beasts at using them, you're being in that same arena makes you feel more confident. It hits your self-esteem. It hits that high. See, you need the book. I need the book. You put it up and I was like, that design though, like you killed it. The cover. Look at the cover. It's freaking it's so great. Cool. Can you tilt it? Does it have like words? Yeah, I don't know what the words are. That's cool. It's like a script. Sorry, for those of you that are listening to the podcast, you'll have to watch the video because just watch. I forgot about that. Yeah, you can see our faces and how fun we think we are. So, but yeah, and so let's talk about how the smaller business can kind of do this stuff, because I know we talk about Adobe and Nike and Apple, but those are giants. Like they are giants. Some of us can't even expect to get that lucky. Mm-hmm. So what do you think the smaller business needs to be more brand savvy and to speak that language a little bit better? Absolutely. And so I think it's important for us to, especially with this podcast, to be able to give you guys things that you can use in your day-to-day, whether you hire a professional or not. When it comes to becoming brand savvy, I think it's super important to just make sure that you're consistent. If you made a logo, or if you had a logo and you didn't get to, invest in that branding development, make sure that you sit down and actually look at your business and say, who, what, when, where, and why. I mean,
100%.
Those are just the 5 basic questions: who, what, when, where, why, and try to answer those for yourself. And, and if you want to get, a little deeper into it, Cam and I would love to talk to you guys about it if you want. Feel free to send us an email or, give us a call. We don't care. But, make sure that you're also, when it comes to all of your business pages, be consistent in your colors, be consistent in your fonts. I mean, those are just some very, very simple things that are intuitive, that are going to just push that bar a little bit more for you and looking in the professional department, with or without a designer. Now, if you want to hire a designer, awesome. We highly recommend investing in yourself. That's one thing that has changed my life. I know it's changed Cam's. But if you don't have the means to invest in a professional at this time, just be consistent. That is like the number one thing that you can do all across the board.
I agree with that. And so taking what Jessa said, that's baseline. That's base level. You can do that, you're winning compared to a lot of brands out there. I think the next one is, again, to ask, who am I trying to serve? Who is the person that I want to show up and be my fan? And does what I have currently when it comes to my brand speak that? Yes. And brand is, again, more than visual. So if your products don't speak to the people you're trying to bring, what are you doing? So your product. So if you are say you're a vegan restaurant, but you serve ground beef tacos, are you speaking? You know what I'm saying? Are you speaking to your customer?
Yeah.
Why is that on your menu?
It could be that extreme too. Exactly. It really can be that extreme with businesses, because we want to be successful so badly. We want to make money so badly that we are willing to grab at anything that we can to bring in that business. When in reality, we're wasting our precious resources and our energy by doing that. You're spreading yourself thin. And
you want to communicate as clearly as possible. That's the whole game. The clearer you can communicate, the more people will want to jump on board because they know you're for them.
Exactly.
So if you can whittle all that down into a brand that's like, well, we are like Adobe. We are for the creative. They've whittled it down into everything they do is for the creative.
Yeah.
And Apple has done the same thing. And that, I guess they got me twice.
They sure got me, so it's fine. As we're talking on our Mac computers and our my
iPhones and
iPhone headphones and all that
iPads.
Fun stuff. They did. But you know what? They have us because it works. They have us because
and that's the commitment.
They have that commitment to their clientele, and they know exactly who they're serving. They're serving the creative. They're serving the person that needs to be busy. Like they're serving that specific audience. So you need to sit down, just like Cam said, you need to sit down and think about who you need to serve, and make sure you're not serving those ground beef tacos to your vegan friends. Okay.
Yes.
That's not cool.
It's not cool. And they probably low-key hate you and they just haven't said it.
They're probably in the bathroom throwing up. Okay. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
Vegans can't handle that. So, don't make your friends sick with beef tacos. You need to sit down and find, sorry. Isn't
that a great analogy though?
It is a great analogy.
I'm really happy
that is
I
very
cannot believe
great.
I just pulled that out.
That was wonderful. I am very happy about that. It is giving me the giggles. So, but exactly. Yeah. You have to sit down and say, okay, who am I serving?
Yes.
Where does that person typically spend most of their time? And I know that sounds weird because obviously we can't assume everybody does the exact same thing, but like, okay, with me or even with you guys with this podcast, in the very beginning, we say, we know who you are. We know that you're a college avoider. We know that you're the corporate dropout. Yep. We know that you're the person spending a majority of your time working on those passion projects late at night because it's the quietest part of the day. Like we know exactly who this podcast is for. And if you're here because you're supporting us, fantastic. But if you're here because you are connecting with us, then that's even better because this is just showing you exactly how that works. We know the type of people we want to talk to, so we're talking directly to you. Find those people that you want to talk to.
Perfect. Perfectly said. I think that's it.
Awesome.
Do you have anything else?
I don't think I do. So we want to say thank you guys for listening to episode number 2 and hanging in there with us. And if you want to, this is fun. We are on Instagram. It is Wisdom by Design Podcast on Instagram, spelled exactly as it sounds. And if you guys want to email us, it's wisdombydesignpodcast@gmail.com. I'm Jessa.
I'm Kameron.
And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
Wisdom by Design.